Welcome back to the group chat for this odds-on edition on Thursday, the 20th of March. Phil, how you doing, mate?
Wow, fantastic. Looking forward to the Panthers and the Storm.
Yeah, that'll be a great game tonight.
Third string fullback for the Panthers, it looks like.
Yes.
Lowry,
Did that move the line out anymore? Because it was plus 8.5. Storm, big favourites to take it home, though, especially after the Panthers' result last week.
Mm-hmm.
And what, Storm?
Unexpected. It's moved to 9.
Okay.
So not much.
Just
9
flat
and a half.
9.5.
Yeah.
9.5. So if you like the Panthers to keep it within 10 points, you take that. I mean, Cleary's still there. Isaiah Yale's still there.
Mm-hmm.
Still got that winning formula.
There's value.
There is. Like you said, we've got the Panthers tonight. Let's go NRL. What game are you looking forward to the most this weekend? We've got the Warriors Friday night, Mount Smart again.
Well, has to be that one, doesn't it?
Against the Roosters.
It's gonna, the hard game to pick.
It is.
Tough. But I think between that game and the game tonight, it'll be match of the week.
So you reckon one of those two games?
Yeah.
And who do you think is going to be the worst match of the week? Because let's
whoever
look
the
forward
Eels
to...
are playing.
So next Tuesday when I ask you which result,
yep.
Which game was the most boring, you're going to say it was the Eels? Who are the Eels playing?
The Eels take on the Bulldogs. And I do like the Bulldogs, unfortunately. They're probably my second favourite team.
Oh, well, that's going to be a boring game for you to watch then.
Well, not if Bulldogs put 100 on them.
I'd like the Bulldogs to do that once Kiraz gets back to help out my fantasy. But unfortunately...
Well, I've got Tracy, so... Tracy hat-trick.
Not this week because we're going head-to-head. I wouldn't like to see that happen. And no Val Holmes for me this week. It's been running up the score for me. I needed a big game from Isako.
Well, I've got no Damien Cook, so, fair is
balances
fair.
out. Have you swapped him out, or are you running I'm running a 12-man team again this week.
I stole Viralis from the Titans.
Oh, yeah.
He's all right.
He'll do the job. Better than having Tamari Martin as your second half. Who doesn't
he's
start?
Not getting played, is he? Yeah.
No. So 0 points from him the first 2 weeks. We've got Super Rugby as well. Big game. Crusaders Blues. That'll probably be the match of the round that everyone's kind of talking about.
Yep.
Is it the one for you?
Unless Moana Pacifica pull a wildy.
Against your Chiefs, though.
Yep.
You see it happen?
No Artie Savia.
Artie Savia just ruled out.
But I imagine it's a good game. Blue Satyrs, probably pick of the round, or the Force Drua could be quite tasty as well.
That could be a fun watch.
Yeah, I'm enjoying the Force this year. Just
like from a neutral perspective.
Yeah.
Could be a fun watch. That one. And that's over in Perth, I believe, too. And the Drua, they're good at home. Not so good away from home. I don't know. It'd be one the Drua eyeing up, though, for a win.
Yeah, I think so.
Have we seen if the Force are playing their B side like they did last week?
I haven't actually checked the lineup yet. I would assume
that they are.
No, I assume they get their Wallabies back.
Yeah. Where were they last week? Because I did like the Force. And we both liked the Force. They covered the plus 25.5, but not the 19.
We only needed the 25. Well, I only needed the plus 25.5. So they did the job. Just.
We've got the All Whites World Cup qualifier versus Fiji tomorrow night down at Sky Stadium. Do you think that's something you'll head along to? We'll do some work beforehand, no doubt.
Yeah, I was debating it. I don't think so.
I reckon it's weather dependent for me.
Yeah. Whether the last 2 days have been disappointing as well as misleading.
We've got the wind, the rain, and the All Whites down in Wellington.
So it's not meant to rain tomorrow, but they're 0-2 on the weather, so...
Yeah. You know what else is 0-2 or 2-0? Wellington, the All Whites against Fiji have won their last 2 games 2-0.
The
All Whites against Fiji have won their last 2 games against Fiji 2-0.
Interesting you say that, because I had those stats, didn't I?
Yeah. Do you have some stats you're going to fire out at me?
Chris Wood also scored 2 goals in the last game against Fiji.
Oh!
That was the 2 I was going for.
Hey, should we do this?
Sure.
Now? Okay, let's...
All
since we're on the World Cup,
okay.
You're going to run up some numbers, and I'm going to guess what they have to do. This could be a tough watch.
Indeed.
Disclaimer.
So it's going to be your job to guess what stat I have written down for that number is.
Yep.
So Let's run through a couple, maybe 6, maybe 10. But it'll either relate to the All Whites, the Buller Boys.
You going Fiji in there as well?
Yep.
Oh, God.
Or
They don't even have a FIFA team.
Hey,
how do they have stats about them?
Hey, they're playing, so there's stats.
Yeah, okay. Fire away. Let's hear it.
7.
The number of goals Barbarouses has scored for the All Whites in his career.
True, but not the stat I have written down.
God damn.
The All Whites have beaten Fiji 7 times.
Out of 7?
Out of 8.
1 draw.
Indeed. No, Fiji won 2-0.
No,
Yep.
don't say that.
Yeah.
So it can happen in some...
They won 2-0 back in 2008.
In some universe, they could win tomorrow. And it could be ours.
I've backed him to score, so we'll see. We'll see. All right, 9.
9, 9, 9. Trying to channel
Yes.
Trying to channel the number 9. Is that the number Chris Wood wears for the All Whites?
Maybe. But the stat I have is Fiji's currently on a 9-game unbeaten streak.
Really?
4 wins and 5 draws.
Wow. A 9-game unbeaten streak. Yep. They'll be heading into this game with some confidence.
Yep.
Jeepers.
Also, they've had, a couple weeks in camp together.
2-3 weeks in camp. The All Whites
have had 2 days.
2 days. Yeah. Sweet. Good stuff. And it's not, unless they're training indoors today, they're not getting outside. You don't want to risk getting sick.
No.
Come on. One real only. Camp day.
Now, thinking about that last stat, 5.
The All Whites unbeaten streak.
Indeed. 4 wins, 1 draw.
Was that draw against Fiji?
No. I just said Fiji won 2-0 in 2008.
Oh, that's right.
I've got another 5 for you here.
Can I have a hint? Does it link towards the World Cup in some way? Was going to be my question.
Links back to Fiji.
Ooh.
So you can think about that streak again.
They have gone 5 games without conceding a goal.
And 5 of the last 6 games for Fiji, both teams have scored.
Oh, okay.
You were close.
I was on the right track.
You were on the right path.
I'm 1 and 4 here.
Yeah, I've been a little bit unfair. I've done a lot of Fiji, and I'm sticking with Fiji. 10.
10?
Yeah.
The number 10. 10 is the number of wins they've had in their career away from home.
Fiji have scored in all 10 of their last 10 games.
Oh.
All right, number 1, I told you that is the amount of times Fiji have beaten New Zealand, winning 2-0 back in 2008. 41. Well, this is a big number.
41. Has Chris Wood scored 41 goals?
Indeed.
Yeah, baby.
Get another one up. Chris Wood has scored
if we
41
work with
goals
New Zealand,
for New Zealand.
We're okay.
Yeah.
We start talking about the Fijians. All hope goes out the window.
The number 2, I told you about Chris Wood scoring 2 goals in the last game against Fiji. So what's left is the number 6.
This is the last one?
Mm-hmm.
The number 6 relates to the amount of times we've made it through to the qualifying final.
Maybe. Fact check. 6 is the number of AFC players named in the squad of 23.
Named in the squad.
Yeah. Good numbers from the AFC fellas and getting in amongst it.
I guess when you're having a winning season, it's hard to deny it. I don't know how Rufer gets in there.
Yeah.
Just saying.
There were 3 Nottingham Forest players, I think, as well. 2 of which
you're
are
counting
on
the ones
loan.
that are on loan. Yeah.
2 are on loan.
Marco.
3 total.
Who was the other one? We've got Woodsy, Marko Stamenic. There was one other.
And another guy. I might actually have it here.
There's a couple European players out there. It's quite good, actually. Big Bill Tuiloma's coming back. It'll be interesting to see if we've seen a lineup, a starting 11 yet. Must come out tomorrow. But would you? Paulson's got to start and goal.
Or tonight. Yeah.
Woodsy, captain up front. Yeah, I wonder if Roof is starting in the midfield. I don't know how we fare. I feel like we've got more talent elsewhere.
It's a bit like Jordan Henderson being picked for the English squad a little bit.
Yeah.
Yep. You want to talk more about the footy?
No.
I just think both teams are going to score, and at $2.75,
have you got
that's
any?
a pickup.
Have you got any bets for it?
Yeah, that's
Both
your
teams
bet to score.
That's probably the only bit of value there. I don't think there's much value anywhere else in the game. Goal scorers probably aren't going to pay a lot.
Yeah, unless you go back to back, try to get Chris Wood to score a double again.
Yeah, you could back the 2-0 correct score. Been seeing a lot of 4-1s around. 4-1 seems to be a predicted score. So that could be another one to go.
This is the thing.
If I'm having a punt on the game, it's going to be a correct score kind of thing. I reckon. There's no value anywhere else.
I'm going for that safe option.
We've got the F1 in China. It is a sprint week, so Liam Lawson will have another chance to prove he is worthy of that second
No wet
RB
track,
seat.
please. No wet track.
Yeah, as long as the track stays dry, we should see a bit more of a normal race than we did in Melbourne, although that Melbourne race was very entertaining. But Liam Lawson should get a chance. Drastically dropped from a top 6 finish, he said last week, paid about $2.30.
Yeah, it's about
top 6 this week, paying about $8.
Yeah, it's unfortunate.
That Red Bull seat, that second Red Bull seat, just must be cursed, man.
Well, plenty of time to turn it around.
And then, so that's on Sunday.
UFC.
We've also got the UFC on Sunday. You want to talk to that, Phil?
Sunday morning. Yeah, huge. Leon Edwards and old mate Sean Brady was originally meant to be Jack Della Maddalena, the Aussie.
Oh, did it?
But he's been promoted to 315 against Bilal Snooze-Hamid in the championship title for that. So good on him. Leon Edwards taking on the rank number 5, 17-1. This sees old mate Edwards, the underdog, obviously coming off a loss to Bilal Snooze-Hamid. Sean Brady, heavy favourite. It's an interesting one. Obviously, the one we all care about, Big Carlos taking on Big Jan Blachowicz in the light heavyweight championship.
Both big boys.
Not the championship, light heavyweight bout. Jan's been in and out, a couple surgeries on the shoulder. It's about a 2-year break for him. And Carlos is on a 7-fight winning streak. Hopefully, Carlos gets up. Okay, that means he gets in that top 5 spot, and it gives him a shot at the title.
So, we have a betcha boost on it. Carlos, the Black Jag Ulberg, to win by KO or TKO at $5. Convince me why I should be taking it.
I really want to. All right, he's got the speed.
Yeah.
He's got the pace. He's got age on his side. But he is coming up against a veteran who has not been knocked out since 2011.
Yep.
Can happen. We're talking about a veteran that hasn't fought in 2 years.
How old did you say he was? 42?
He's 42 years of age, up against a 34-year-old. And
go to sleep, Hunk.
And go to sleep. Yeah. Look, it can happen, can absolutely happen. Anything can happen in the UFC. But you know me and my picks. I obviously went for the decision. It's only 3 rounds.
Yep.
And Jan is a smart fighter.
Smart fighter.
But it can happen.
Carlos Ulberg is a dog.
He is. Strong hook. Got a bit of a sting.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. So I'm going to fire away here. The betcha boost, $5. Carlos Ulberg. When I met him in person, freaking massive. Obviously Jan's a big fella.
He's a genetic freak.
Carlos, genetic freak for sure. Yeah. And like I said before, Jan 42. He's getting on. I think when you start to get that little bit older, he hasn't been knocked out since 2011, but as you get older, you're a little bit more fragile. We know that.
Also a little bit more wiser.
Yeah, but maybe less scared to take that chance. He's just going to, back off a little bit. Carlos could probably get the job done with a couple good hits to the chin. So I don't mind the $5.
Well, also from his 11 wins, he's got 7 by KO.
Carlos does.
Indeed.
Yes, sir.
64%. So
Knockout rate?
You're looking
I
all
like
right. The proof is in the pudding.
Mm-hmm.
I do.
It really could go either way.
Yeah.
But for $5, you might as well have a little dabble on it. I probably will.
What, from, it was $3 originally?
Yeah, $3. So you
That's
$2
worth.
boost on that.
Anything can happen in the UFC, so why not?
Well, we'll definitely be tuning in on that. I've got one thing for you, just to warm us up for our bets here before we do get into our bets of the week. And it is a winner. Someone had paired a Rory McIlroy to win the Players, which we talked about on Tuesday. Came back for that 3-hole playoff the next morning, won it. He paired that with East India Doc to come top 3 at Cheltenham Race 1. And Wood Who at $7.50. Wood Who?
Chris Wood.
Wood Who at $7.50 to win Cheltenham Race 7. $250 into $11,500.
Wow. So he backed it too. He backed it pretty heavy.
Yeah.
They were confident.
They were confident. So just channel that. Think about this as we head into our bets. Last week, my 50-22 did not get up again. I got the under 7.5 or either team by less than 7.5.
Yep.
In the Hurricanes Highlanders game. Could not keep the force plus 19.5. So
the 25.5 was right there.
It was. I needed that value. And you know what happens when you chase value?
You got a little bit greedy.
I need to get a win this week. Yep. How'd you go?
Equally as terrible. Broncos minus 12.5. Got pumped.
Yep.
Thanks, Raiders. Made the Warriors in Vegas look a little bit better. Titans plus 8.5 versus the Bulldogs. They pulled it back a little bit. Not enough to get over that plus 8.5. So dead in the water. Chiefs 1-12 on the lock. Yes, please.
Yeah.
Blues, see you later. 1 point in it. Came down to a conversion. We talked about that.
Yeah.
Fernandez scored.
He did.
I
like that too.
Did not.
We were watching that, and it did get close.
Yeah.
It did get
He
close.
had his opportunities, Xerxes, actually. Keeper had some great saves. So that 1070 was looking well good, but couldn't get there.
My laugh was well out the window as soon as Lawson drove onto that track in the wet.
Luckily, it was late on in the race.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had 3 go, in the first 3 laps almost.
Someone went off...
formation lap.
In the formation lap.
Lap 1. And then lap 2 or 3, I think Sainz was gone, wasn't he? So
yeah. And then my lock did hit. I finally hit a lock, and it was the Black Caps to win. Got them at $1.70. I was checking their game tomorrow. They're now paying $1.20 to beat Pakistan, so we jumped on at the right time, which is good to see. Let's get into our bets then for the week. What is your 40-20 going to be, Phil?
Talked about it briefly. No Dylan Edwards, but the line just doesn't sit right with me. The Storm will win.
Ooh.
But the last 3 games sort of between these 2 teams has covered this plus 8.5. So I'm inclined to back it here, despite the potential issue of the fullback, third string.
Third stringer coming in, hold the fort down.
Yeah, I think Panthers will hold the line.
So you're taking them plus 9.5.
Plus 8.5. I got them, unfortunately, before the injury case was made of their second string.
Didn't want to cash out,
whatever his name is. Yep. So backing that up, Bradman best to go back to back anytime versus the Titans.
It's called back to back.
Surely.
All right. And that is your $50 on that. What is it returning for you? Do you know?
It's $4.84.
Ooh.
So
okay.
Schiller and Fletcher Sharp as well, actually, in that night's game. They're up against very average-looking Dolphins. That'll be one to watch as well.
Yeah, I feel like anyone's kind of in for it against the Dolphins. Anyone could really be dotting down.
Yeah.
Okay, my 50-22 to combat that. I've been spreading it around recently, but this time I'm just going for a same-game multi. 2-leg same-game multi in the big one.
SGM.
Crusaders to beat the Blues. Winning margin 1-12.
Okay.
I think it'll be a tight one.
Okay.
I think the Crusaders will get up.
Mm-hmm.
Pair that with a Severis to score at any time. Gets me $5.68 to return $284.
Wow.
That's how I'm going to come at you this week.
Okay.
Let's go for your
You
locks.
better me by $1.
Let's go!
My lock, I'm running it back. Chiefs 1-12.
Okay.
I like Moana a lot.
Even without Artie?
This was before the Artie injury news, but it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Moana will get up all day, every day. Technically, quote-unquote, home game for them was meant to be in Tonga. That unfortunately didn't happen. Whatever. They always front up. It's a fact. Pacific will always front up this season. It'll be a good game. And they've been unlucky, actually, not to win more than what they have.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I think they can keep this one tight. But Chiefs will get it done.
Okay. I'm going to... I had my first lock last week. But what I thought I'd do this week is switch it up a little bit. It's a massive day of racing, both sides of the Tasman. And I'm going Like a Lucy to win at Trentham on Saturday. Only paying $1.50.
Yeah, I've heard that name a lot this week.
So,
not surprised.
Yeah, when you hear it around the office, when this horse doesn't lose, she's an absolute superstar. Apparently, it's free money. So I'm going to take it there as my lock at $1.50. It's not a lot of free money, but free money's free money. It's never
lock
free.
Is a lock. But
number one, Like a Lucy to win. And then my laugh, I'm going to stick with the racing. Wingman to win the Oaks at $16. Also at Trentham, the race after Like a Lucy. So could almost have a little double there. But yeah, the laugh is Wingman to bring it home at 16s. Number 4, you could do a top 4 as a good bet.
Yeah, you've blown me out the water with that laugh, my goodness. But we saw what happened at the Melbourne Cups. $16.
Doesn't seem too much when you're talking about a long shot getting in, when you talk about those $51 or $101 winners.
Well, I really wanted this in a multi. Unfortunately, it's a special, which means you cannot. However, Parramatta Eels to be the lowest scoring team in round 3 at $6.60 just seems way too tasty because they are terrible.
They are.
Give them the spoon immediately.
Especially with no Moses running the cutter.
No. Give it to them.
The thing they can't defend, which means they're not going to get the ball in their hands very often.
And when they do have the ball,
they stink.
They are shocking. Wooden spoon. So the Eels are definitely going to be the lowest scoring team this week.
What was that paying
If they're
again?
not, I'm cheapest. Imagine if they just win by like 50 points here. $6.60.
I feel like this is something you want to get on now. Because if they get lower score
was
now,
$7 yesterday.
They'll then be lower score again next week, and that price is just going to keep coming down and down and down until it's about $3, and it's not worth the value anymore.
Let's compare it to the other teams as well while we're here. Lowest scoring teams for round 3. Rabbitohs.
Oh, are they in the mix?
Rabbitohs are in the mix. They're taking on the Sharks. Understandable. You can see why. They're putting up some good fights these last couple of weeks. Next up, don't have a guess. After the Rabbitohs at $5.40.
Dragons.
Cowboys.
Oh, the Dragons in the mix?
You forgot about the Cowboys.
Is it the Dragons next?
Well, the Dragons aren't playing, so...
Oh, they're on a bye.
Yeah.
That means they're definitely the lowest scoring team.
Do you think they willingly just bench Damien Cook? That's just not...
Yeah, true.
No.
That slipped my mind.
Well, they can't score, so they can't be the lowest.
They're going to have a donut.
They have nothing. They have nil, zilch, void.
Void it after the round then. I want to bet on it.
If you can't play, you can't score.
Yeah, true.
So Rabbitohs, Cowboys, and we just talked about it. They've moved back to $7. Yep. Parramatta Eels.
Yeah.
In line with $7 Parramatta Eels are the Panthers.
Really?
I am just...
What is up with the bookies and the Panthers?
It's looking at last week. I think they're looking at last week.
Looking into it too much.
And they're like, wow, no Dylan Edwards.
Yeah, sure.
I think it would be a tight game, though, to be honest, that Storm Panthers game.
Well, like you said earlier, the last results have been low scoring.
Yep. They've all covered that plus 8.5 as well. We'll see.
Yeah, okay. We'll finish it off with the ladder challenge. Didn't go so well for you last week. AFB was about the only Sharks player.
Yeah, everyone but him.
Not to score a try. So it comes back my way, and guess what I'm going to do?
Phenomenal play.
No, I'm going to do a try scorer in the league. It's going to be tonight. Brian To'o to score at any time. I think he's scored 9 tries in 12 games against the Storm.
That's a great stat.
Let's do it again. $2.05, turning my 10 into 20.
Yeah.
Let's go. So that's all we've got for the weekend. There's our punts. They will be on our Bet Social profile. So if you do want to follow along, you can. Just make sure you do it and gamble responsibly. Do have fun this weekend and catch us next week when we look back on all of this and do it all again. Thanks for listening.